It's a beautiful time of the year at stud farms around Australasia as the foaling season winds down and the new foals start to develop their own identities. We recently visited Cambridge Stud to see the first foals of European star Almanzor.
As everyone knows, the spring's about new foals, and particularly with a young stallion, I suppose the excitement of seeing their first progeny on the ground.
What are you seeing in the foals, in the first of the babies by Almanzor? Obviously it's he's had some really good support and obviously Cambridge has really got behind him very much with some lovely mares of your own.
Yeah, he got great support in his first year at stud, a full book and of really quality mares, as you said, from the farm here and his shareholders and outside supporters as well. So he's a lovely looking horse himself, so you'd be a bit disappointed if the foals didn't come out looking good, and we couldn't be more happy.
Well, we start looking at these foals. Now, Diamond, like herself, Danehill Trista Love, this fabulous family, after Viking ruler loved Trista, and the great 8-carat family. We know her yearlings always sell so fantastically well. But tell us about this foal, by Almanzor, because, you've sent one of the creme de la creme of your broodmare band to him.
Yeah, she's obviously one of the queens of the Cambridge Stud broodmare band, and probably testament to the kind of support he's been given with the broodmare band we have here. As you said, she traces back to 8-carat. The family doesn't get much better, and we've been rewarded with a nice filly on the ground. Probably a racier looking type, quite strong and compact, and looks like she'll get up and go. And I suppose with a pedigree like she's got, she's a bit of a collector's item. So whether she sees a sales ring or a racetrack is yet to be decided, but no matter where she goes, she's going to have a lot of interest in following on her with a pedigree like she's got.
Forever loved in front.
And Mum's obviously already done the job, with the produce on the track, with not only the huge prices and the sales ring, but, Zephyron, Forever Loved, and a Queensland Oaks runner-up in Zanella already coming from Diamond Lake.
Yeah, so she's had, I think, 6 foals to race, and 4 of them have got black type. So for a young stallion to have a mare like her in the book, that's a proven producer, just gets them off on the right foot. So it's a huge advantage in their first year.
And this one's a colt from Appiel, a Singspiel mare. Now, the dam's a half-sister to the Turnbull Stks winner in December draw, and a lovely colt again, as you said, a great representation of his sire.
Yeah, and again, another nice young black type mare in the book, and she's by Singspiel, so goes back to Sadler's Wells and has Danehill in her blood as well, which I guess just goes back to the fact that Almanzor is an outcross, and he's a great option for some of those mares that have, the 2 prominent sire lines, certainly in New Zealand, with Danehill and Sadler's. And yeah, as you said, the type on the ground, so they've been rewarded with a nice type as well. So the mare's owned by Pat and Clyde Buckingham, who are shareholders in Almanzor, and she's already back in foal again for this year.
Empress Searcy. Now, this is a Chaparral mare. Her second dam is the top European 2-year-old in Crystal Music. Again, a fabulous cross with Almanzor, and Chaparral with his 2-year-olds. He's just had these fabulous Group 1 winning 2-year-olds for Godolphin in Europe. Yeah,
Chaparral's an internationally renowned sire, and she's a mare that was sourced out of England by Brando and Joe a few years ago through John Foote. So she's been to stud. As you said, she's got a deep European pedigree. The foal that's on the ground has got a bit of quality. Almanzor's got a lovely head and eye, and he seems to pass it on, and it's a foal with plenty of substance and very correct. Hopefully a pedigree we think's on the upgrade. Her first foal to race is a filly called Manchu that races in Brendan and Joe's colours. She ran out of her grade and broke a maiden in a rating 65 during the Hawke's Bay Carnival, so she'll be aiming for some black type races through this spring and summer. So hopefully the pedigree will get a little bit better by the time that horse goes to a sale.
And a lovely colt here. This is from the Denman mare Actressa. She's a group place daughter of Dama de Noche, and this is the nocturnal Dracary's family. So again, a very deep pedigree on Mum's side.
Yeah, it's a good Australian pedigree, and Brendan and Joe raced Actressa, so this is her first foal. She's a maiden foaler, and Almanzor's a horse with plenty of leg and size and scope, and that's something we hoped he would pass on, particularly for a mare like her, she's not overly big herself. So to get a first foal, often the maiden foals can be a bit smaller, so he's helped out a lot of those smaller, and particularly the maiden foaling mares with a bit of leg. So it's nice to have that option, and nice to see him passing it on.
Now, this is a gorgeous colt. This one is from Notice Received, an O'Reilly mare, family of Apple Danish, but a cracking colt, this fellow.
Yeah, he's a great representation of Almanzor. He's right up there with the nicest foals we have on the farm, and he's got all the hallmarks of his sire: a lovely head, great shoulder, plenty of size and scope, and a very strong hindquarter. So on type, he's a a really nice horse. He was bred by Wayne and Vicky Pike, and I'm a bit jealous he's not one of her own, to be honest. He's a lovely foal, and again, it's a notice receives an O'Reilly mare. We all know what a great broodmare sire he is, and the last Tycoon blood crossed particularly well with Almanzor'S grandsire Ifraj, so it's a good match-up on paper as well. And she's actually the dam of Subpoenaed, who won here for Tony Pike and has just been running around in some nice races in the spring for Chris Wallace, so she's one to watch, I think, in the black type in the autumn as well. I sound like a bit of a broken record, but she's another one going back to Almanzor again this year, and I think it was a pretty easy decision based on the foal she's got on the ground.
And then your own Burgundy, so he's the sire of Nucleonic, so this colt again, another great representation.
Yeah, so Nucleonic's by Burgundy is on the roster here, and again, Burgundy's a horse by Reduced choice out of his Appiel mare, so you've got those prominent bloodlines coming through and the outcross suits, and again, it's a good example of she's a smaller, compact type of mare. It's her first foal, but, Almanzor, I think, has passed on his quality and a bit of leg to the mare for her first foal as well. And, it's a lovely type, bred by Tiak, our stud, and partners. And, again, another one that's headed back to the breeding shed to Almanzor this year.
There's another one here, a filly from Cosmic Storm, a See the Stars mare. So again, it's a fabulous European pedigree in her as well. But, it's going to be fascinating to see which are the ones that turn into the real runners, isn't it?
We're very fortunate with Almanzor because he is a bit of a blank canvas. He's such an outcross that, if you like the breeding on type, you can breed to him. And I think for a young horse, it's important that they get a variety of broodmare sire lines, because as much as we try and predict what's going to work, you just, as you said, you don't know until they hit the track. And again, she's another imported mare owned by Jean Choi, who's been a big long-time supporter of Cambridge Stud and a very successful breeder through the years. And yeah, by See the Stars, another internationally proven horse, and goes back to a really deep European family. And again, another nice first foal on the ground. We're providing photos and updates all the time. It kind of explodes at this time of year with over 150 of them. So we've got probably around 30 Almanzor'S on the ground at the moment. We're very excited about it. The people that have supported them are, so it's always nice when they come to the farm and see the foal and they're happy with what they've got, and I suppose even better when they decide to go back again in year 2.